Have you ever faced a tough challenge that seemed impossible? What if you had to solve it in a really clever and surprising way? That's exactly what Gopal did in today's story. Gopal and the Hilsa Fish is a captivating tale that celebrates wit, cleverness, and the art of thinking outside the box. Let's find out how he succeeded. The story begins during the season of Hilsa Fish. Now, just like we have a mango season in summer, the Hilsa Fish was in season, and everyone was talking about it, whether it was in the market, on the streets, or even in the king's court. One day, a courtier was telling the king about the huge Hilsa fish he had caught. However, the king was fed up with the topic of discussion and scolded the courtier. After a while, he apologized for losing his temper and explained to the courtiers that it was the season of Hilsa fish. He said that no one, not even someone as clever as Gopal, could stop people from talking about the Hilsa fish for even 5 minutes. After hearing the king's frustration, Gopal boldly said, "I can do it. I can stop people from talking about Hilsa fish." The king, surprised, immediately challenged him, "Bring a huge Hilsa fish to the palace without anyone asking about it." And guess what? Gopal accepted the challenge without hesitation. He was sure he could do it. Gopal, one of the courtiers, didn't take a simple approach. He decided to dress in a way that no one would expect. He half-shaved his face, smeared himself with ash, and wore torn clothes. His appearance was so strange, people would laugh when they saw him. Gopal bought a huge Hilsa fish and began his journey to the palace. Along the way, people couldn't stop laughing at his comical appearance. Some called him a madman, others called him a mystic. But do you know what? Not a single person mentioned the Hilsa fish. Not a word about it. Gopal's plan was working. But when Gopal reached the palace, the guards stopped him at the gate. They didn't recognize him, and they didn't know what he wanted. Gopal did something surprising. He started singing so loudly and cheerfully that the king heard him and allowed him to enter the palace. His loud singing was part of his clever plan to get inside. Once inside the palace, no one asked Gopal about the fish. They were more curious about his strange clothes and his unusual appearance. Even the king was more interested in Gopal's outfit than in the Hilsa fish he had brought. At the end of it all, Gopal reminded the king about the challenge. And you know what? The king was so impressed with Gopal's cleverness that he congratulated him for completing what seemed like an impossible task. So, what can we learn from this story? Sometimes, the most difficult challenges can be solved by thinking differently. Gopal used his wit, creativity, and a little bit of humor to succeed, and that's what made him win the king's challenge. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 7. Thank you.